if you believe in fairy tales. What happened this morning is that when I opened my laptop, you know what was in the picture of the screen when you open the Windows program? For the first time, since this laptop belonged to me, it was a photograph of Ukraine, of your Carpathos, the mountains. So,
oh, really?
It never happened before. That's really, I don't know if you have manipulated it or not, but it was very nice, you know, a wonderful introduction to the lecture. Well, thank you very much for the invitation and congratulations for organizing such a very interesting seminar, interdisciplinary, something that sometimes we are forgotten, you know, in the intellectual life, but it is essential. Everything is interrelated, and we have to go to the substantial of these things. So I am very proud and very happy to be with you this morning. Let me tell you something. I'm going to address the issue of my lecture or in a very short approach. I just want to make a picture and sketch, and I would love to have a discussion with you.
We're ready.
That's what I would like to underline, you know, because obviously it's going to be very brief, about 5-10 minutes, just to make you a picture of the situation now and probably in the next 2-5 years, in the short, medium term in the European Union. Well, we can point out the main features of the new political and institutional trends of the European Union in the short and medium term, a time of the beginning of the post-COVID-19 pandemic era. First, regarding to the institutional trends, we have to distinguish between the foundations and the tendencies. The foundations of the European Union will be strength. This means that the most supranational institutions, the European Parliament, the European Commission, and the Court of Justice of the European Union, will preserve both the meaning and the implementation of Article 2 of the Treaty of the European Union. Therefore, they will not be tolerant with serious and systematic breaches of the principles of freedom, pluralism, democracy, and respect to human rights. We know very well what are the challenges to those principles that are being pushing forward in some countries of the European Union. Against this background, the institutional reaction will be zero tolerance. Second, there are growing tendencies for the reshaping of the budgetary commitments and the political consequences. According to the current status, the European Union will empower those areas that contribute to solidarity between member states. The creation of a new fund for the reconstruction of the social and economic environment that has been seriously damaged by the COVID-19 pandemic will act as a lever to boost some key public policies, such as the industrial, agricultural, health protection, research and development, and education. This political refocusing will be implemented together with the relaxation of the guidelines of the competition policy and the fiscal commitments according to the European Monetary Union. On the other hand, member states will intensify their commitments on the functioning of the internal market. The European Union will prioritize domestic consumption over sport. Third, we have to take into account that the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has been, and it's been taking place within a new international context. The transatlantic link is weakening, and new emerging superpowers are trying to establish special relationships with some member states of the European Union. In such a context, the common foreign security policy and the defense policy must be strengthened. One of the immediate consequences will be the enlargement of the European Union to the Balkans. Last but not least, to be able to achieve those goals, should we convene in the short term an intergovernmental conference that should include a new European Convention for the reform of the treaties. Thank you very much. This is the short sketch, and I am ready to answer to all your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Carlos. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, questions are welcomed. It's a very good opportunity to take part in the discussion and to get the information directly from the source, from the representative. Mr. Kарлos Moreyro represents many European Union institutions, and he is a great big expert in all EU-related issues. I have a question, Carlos. Is there any debate within the European Union about the